Tomorrow, the Texas House begins debating whether universities should close their offices of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Texas Senate already passed this bill, and one of those who testified for it in the Texas Senate, Dr. Ben Carson, former Republican presidential candidate and the founder of the American Cornerstone Institute. Dr. Carson, welcome to the program. You testified for this in the Senate. How do you expect it's going to impact minorities in this state?
Well, first of all, we have to recognize that there's been a tremendous amount of progress in terms of diversity and racial equality just in my lifetime. The country has changed dramatically in that sense. And what we particularly don't want to do is enact policies that polarize and that create divisions between groups of people.
Dr. Carson, in Texas, you testify part of the reason you're firmly against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion is because you grew up in a time when real racism existed. Do you think it still exists today?
Well, as long as there's evil in the world, there'll be people who will be unfair. But recognize that it is a completely different country now than it was when I was a kid. And, racial issues just are not the same as they were before. So why should we dig them up and put them on a pedestal once again? We don't need to do that. We need to build on the progress that we've made already.
Some people will be watching this, Dr. Carson, and say, well, how should these institutions ensure or guarantee that you're not going to just have one racial group make up a student body or faculty, et cetera? Should Texas ensure any type of diversity?
If you see an institution that for some reason is all one race, of course that should probably raise some suspicion that there may be some changes that need to be made there. But I don't see that happening. That's not going on right now. And if it's not a problem, let's not solve a problem that doesn't exist.
Dr. Carson, 16 other states have similar bills. Have any of those passed so far to your knowledge?
I'm not aware of any that have passed. And I'm hoping that we have people with common sense who will just sit down and use the facts. There's a lot of data. Sit down with people on the other side of the aisle and say, what is it that we want to accomplish? And how do we best do that in a way that we can all live with? That's what intelligent people do. We don't try to force people to do things. That doesn't work in the long run. And we just need to recognize that we're not each other's enemies. We all want good things for all of our citizens. We want liberty and justice for all. Let's sit down and work it out. We can do it.
Dr. Carson, thank you for the time.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.